Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes, and we are live right now on a Millionaire mentoring and training call. Guys, the last 2 weeks we have been on fire, right? And it's been really all the people right here on this panel. Now, why is that? What separates these people right here from everybody else? I'll tell you what it is. They've surrendered their pride, they surrendered their ego, and they just are ready to be coachable, right? That's step one. Step one to getting to your dream is to just be coachable, right? Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Don't say, well, hey, Darren, thanks a lot for that great strategy where you're recruiting reps in as fast as 3 minutes. But I got a different strategy over here. I think maybe I can do it better. Really? It's not necessary. Why not just get an income story, right? After you get an income story and you're past $10,000 a month, guys, if you want to go out and do jumping jacks, or you want to go out and put your logo across your forehead or tattoo something here on your back, right? Whatever you want to do, hallelujah, rock and roll, right? But until you go from 0 to 10,000, let's just stick with the basics, right? Let's just stick with the basics. Does it sound fair, guys? Right? After you get past 10 grand, do whatever you want, right? Do it. You want to, rent a plane and put a banner behind it and put your .com name across that, go for it, right? You can start doing your testing at that time. But until you can go from 0 to 10,000, let's just stick with the basics, okay? So what are the basics that I really want for everybody to get? Here's the basics. The first thing that you've got to really take ownership of, okay, is that you, as a human being, have value. Okay, you as a human being, your story has value. Your story will help other people to get to their breakthrough. Your story, just everything that you've been through in your life, right? Just that, right? The trials and tribulations that you've been through, the pain and sorrow that you've been through, the struggles that you've been through, the personal breakthroughs that you've been through, a book that you read, a movie that you watched, a seminar that you went to, anything that you've been through, okay, that's got you from where you were to where you are, has massive value, guys. Massive. And you gotta own that. You gotta take 100% full ownership that your story is meaningful. Your story can motivate, inspire, and empower people to their personal breakthrough. You don't have to make anything up. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to lie about it. Just be real. Just be real. Be okay with being vulnerable. Okay, that is your gateway right there, guys. Okay, and I will share with you that if you can share of yourself, right? This is what happens when I just start talking. Look at this. It happens every time. Every time I start talking about this. Every single time, right? And it happens like that because that's speaking the truth, right? That's like direct connect, universal direct connect. You become a channel, right? Like a copper wire, right? Just to speak the truth, right? And I'm talking about not from, not from your ego, not from trying to make something up or pretend. I'm talking about just from your real life. Like, here's where I was, right? And I know there's a lot of people in that reality of where I was, right? Whatever that was, whatever your struggle was, right? So I know really exactly how you feel, right? That could have been the friends and family path. That could have been the rejection, right? Pitching people and being rejected constantly, how to feel your confidence and self-esteem, inviting people over to home meetings, having nobody show. There's so many different things that people are actually going through that are real painful, right? That they hate, but they don't know anything else. Nobody's ever taught them anything else, right? So it's very easy to connect with people's pain on that level, right? And then what I found was, right, as an example, you know, guys, when I first got started in this type of a business model, and a lot of you can probably relate to this, the only thing I was ever taught was to make a list of my friends and family. And I just could never figure out why it wasn't working, right? Because I understand marketing, I understand advertising, but the only thing that I was given as the way was to make a list of my friends and family and go pitch them on my products, right? And it sucked. Let me tell you, it was really painful, right? I mean, I got rejected all the time. None of my friends wanted to call me back. I mean, I remember this one time, I just wanted to go to a movie with one of my buddies, and I couldn't get a hold of anybody because nobody would pick up the phone, right? All I wanted to do was go watch a movie, but all my friends thought I was calling them to pitch them on my business, right? That sucked. And you know what? A lot of people will be able to relate to that story, right? So, but here's the interesting thing, is that what I didn't really even realize, guys, and this is something that you all need to know, is that not everybody is even qualified to be an entrepreneur. Did you guys know that? Not everybody is even qualified to be an entrepreneur, right? So what I found was that if I could just get a mentor, if I could just get somebody who had been there, done that, who would fast-track their way to the top, and I just copycatted what they were doing, that my life would completely transform. Okay, now do you guys realize that just in that little bit, you've been able to connect with the person, to feel their pain, right? So they feel like you're like them, right? And then you've now been able to kind of make them chuckle a little bit, and you change their state, right? And now you give them a solution to their problem, and now you say, you know, if you really want to find out how we're completely crushing it and how we're having people go from 0 to, you know, rank qualification in the first 10 days, right? Or from 0 to, we've got people right now, guys, that have gone through this training. First month, they've made $8,500. True story, right? True story. Some people, second month, 11,500. I don't talk about Mark Andrew Clyatt's story of 20,000 his second month, because a lot of people wouldn't, they just have a hard time believing that, right? Maybe in the third month, but he did it in 2 months, right? So I don't really talk about that story. I do every once in a while on my wall, right? Because here's the cool thing. Not only did he have a $20,000 month in his second month, he ranked number 8 on the leaderboards in the contest, right? As high as number 4, right? He added $50,000 in brand new deposits into his law firm, and he signed $250,000 in contingency contracts in 60 days. Like, is that next level, right? So anyway, back to this, you know, this story, is that, so now you talk a little bit about the benefits, and then you say, ding, 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 you want to find out how we're doing it, go here, and that's going to go back to your lead capture page. See how this works, guys? So if you can connect with people in their pain factor, right, and then bridge over into the solution that you found, right, and then have them go someplace, that's how you generate leads, guys. You realize that? Right? Or if I want to build rapport with somebody, I'm going to say, I might do a video that says something like this. You know, hey guys, Darren Little here from Vancouver. Have you ever had this happen to you in your life? right? Like you get up one day and like everything just seems to go wrong, right? You know, I had this one situation when I got up and, you know, my alarm clock would, now you take them through this journey, right? Take them through this entertainment journey. So there I was, right? And I mean, I'd worked all weekend. I mean, I did an all-nighter because I do press releases and I was working on this marketing campaign, and I was so exhausted Monday morning. But I was the guy that opened up the office. I was working in the stock market. So the market opened at 6. I had to be there before the office opened. So my alarm clock goes off. It's like, you know, 4:45, 5 o'clock, something like that. I was like, you know, it took me like a full minute before I even realized my alarm clock was going off. Right? I didn't even know my alarm clock was going off. I was so exhausted that I could hardly even open my eyes, right? And when I finally realized it was going off, I hit the snooze button, right? And the minutes that went by seemed like seconds. I hit it again, right? Now I started to get into the danger zone, right? Because I started to calculate how long it was going to take me to get on the freeway before I was going to hit rush hour traffic. You guys probably know what I'm talking about, right? You got a small window of opportunity to get on that freeway. So that's taking somebody through a story, right? Where they're living it, they're seeing it, they're in the story with you. You see how that works, right? And I'm taking them through something that they can relate to. So there I was in the shower. I mean, I'm just like, I'm underneath the water, and I'm thinking like, I was probably under the water for 15 minutes, right? In the you know, the steam's coming out. I'm just like, oh, I could hardly even open my eyes. So I get out of the shower. I come around the corner, full force, wham! I stub my toe into the corner of the bed, right? And I'm screaming out because I'm in so much pain. See what I'm talking about here? See this? Right? That's called a roller coaster. That is going to change people's state. What I always talk about, what's accessing the vault? Changing their state. Okay? That's how you access the vault. Okay? So you know, I think my toe's broken, right? I mean, like, holy crap. Like, I mean, it's just throbbing, and it's starting to already get black and blue. So now I'm limping down the stairs to get to my car, and I need a coffee, right? So I go to the drive-thru, and wouldn't you know, first of all, it's snowing outside, right? So the snow's coming into the thing, and I don't realize my window's not all the way down. So I go to grab my coffee, it catches the bottom of the window, and all over my suit. All over my suit. Now I get to the underground parking, the power's gone out, the parking is locked, so I gotta park out on the street, right? So now what happens? It's the very end of the day, and I come out to my vehicle, and wouldn't you know, I got a ticket. And I'm looking at my ticket, and I take a step off the curb onto the street, right into a slush puddle. Goes right up soaks my leather shoes, right inside my socks, and then my phone rings. And it's a buddy of mine. And he says, Darren, how you doing, bro? I said, dude, you don't even want to know. I mean, it's just been one of those days. He says, wow, well, I just had the best month of my life. And I said, really? What happened? I just made $75,000 this month. And I was like, wow, like I was working as vice president of marketing for this company, and with my stock and everything else, I was only making 10 grand a month. 5,000 there, 5,000 in stock, 10 grand a month. Here's my buddy, $75,000 he made. So I'm thinking, well, what the heck did you do? Right? I'm thinking maybe he sold some real estate. He goes, well, let me just tell you this, Darren. It gets better. I did it all while I was away on vacation. Now, that story, guys, that really happened to me, right? That was my breaking point. That's why I'm here right now, because of that story. It totally transformed my life. Because I thought to myself, all the times I did all-nighters, all the times I was working weekends, all the times I hit that alarm clock because I was up all night and I could hardly even move, right? And I thought about all those times slaving away. I literally had no life for $10,000 a month. And here's my buddy who made 75 grand while he was away on vacation. And I knew at that point that I had to learn how to leverage the power of the internet, right? And since that time, I mean, I've had some days where I've made 7,000, you know, 5,000, 3,000, $12,000 weeks, $47,000 months, all because of the power of this secret lesson that I learned. You know, if you want to know how I did it, ding, 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 ding. See how that works, guys? See, it works pretty easy, right? Take somebody through the thing, right? That change their state, right? Something they can relate to. You bridge over into how you found something and how your little bit of success, right? That's why I always tell people, show up for Millionaire Mentoring. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Get an income story as fast as you possibly can. And leverage the team stories to help lift you up. People say, well, Darren, I just started. I don't have a team. I don't have a story. Michelle's got one. She was number 9 on the leaderboards. Helen's got one. She was number 5 on the leaderboards. Seb's got one. He's only been in 2 weeks. He hit boss maker. Right? Simon's got one. He's been in for 10 days. He just hit boss. Right? That's just the little group here that's just been showing up for the last 2.5 weeks. Okay? But here's the interesting thing. They didn't try and come up with another strategy. They didn't try and reinvent the wheel. They just realized that there's a lot of people out there right now that are in pain. Would you guys agree with that? With the economy right now, there's a lot of people in pain, right? Now, here's what I'm going to share with you guys, okay? You're going to have to, this is part of the 4, deservability, worthiness, self-love, boundaries. Boundaries will get tested, guys. Okay, Michelle's going through that right now. Your boundaries will get tested on whether or not you've raised your standards, right? And you're not going to get sucked down the victim rabbit hole. Trust me, the universe will keep on slamming you with broke people until you finally say enough's enough. I'm not going down that rabbit hole anymore. It's an abundance universe, and unfortunately, those people choose the lack world. It doesn't have to be like that, right? It doesn't have to be like that. So what do I typically do, okay? Michelle says, what do you do when somebody says like this? Stop trying to save people. Seriously. They can't afford the auto ship the following month. So stop it right away. Don't waste your time. Trust me on this. Give them a couple tools. Say, here's a book that I would recommend for you. Ask and it is given. I recommend watching this video. Anyway, I gotta run. Best of luck. Have a nice day. And get out of there. The longer that you're in there, the more energy transference they're gonna give to you. Do you want to go back down that rabbit hole again, Michelle? You don't. Protect your dream, guys. Protect your dream. Protect your breakthrough. Don't be in a position where you're setting yourself up. What do you think happens when one person that's like, well, I only make $400 a month. Well, how about this? How about stop playing the victim? How about start there? That's where it starts. Take control of your thoughts, your words, your emotions, and realize that's how the reality is being created. Stop looking for people to feel sorry for you. And don't try and save people. Save yourself. Save your family. Save your kids. on a second. Open. Okay, so I gotta just tell this person, I gotta send this person our link. Hold on a sec. Okay, so what I want to share with you guys tonight here is I want to help you to start to get more transactions happening. Okay, so a lot of people, what they do, because they don't have what are called minimum standards. Minimum standards, okay? So here's an example. Somebody just wants to like get an enrollment, right? But they don't really know what the person even wants or what their income goals are or what their budget is because they never ask those questions, right? So save yourself a bunch of time. So this is why you'll hear me saying this. So there's two realities, okay? There's this reality here, the current situation, right, where they are right now. So you hear me say a lot, you know, so Tom, tell me a little bit about your life right now. What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Are you married? Do you have children? Do you work full-time, part-time? Tell me about your life right now. Okay, and I'm going to let that person talk as long as they want, okay? And then I'm going to say, talk to me about your vision. What do you really want? So you got the world they're in and the world they want to go to. Two different worlds. And now I'm going to ping pong back between these two worlds. Okay, so if I can get them to tell me about this reality, right, then how much it's going to cost. So here's an example. So Tom, talk to me a little bit about your vision. What is it that you really want? Darren, I want to make $50,000 a month. Really? What do you want $50,000 a month for? Now they're going to spend the money, okay? Now, after they've spent the money and they're emotionally connected to it, what's the next step? I want to bring them back down to reality. Well, give me an idea. What level of income are you accustomed to making right now? See how that works? Now, I'm going to find out what their budget is right there. So the guy wants to make $50,000 a month. Well, he's not going to make $50,000 a month unless he's all in. Okay, unless he wants to do the never never plan on, you know, just what, go out and get 10,000 sales? Come on, let's get realistic. That ain't gonna happen, right? So I want to get, if that's really truly his goal, he wants to get 50 grand a month. There's no other way to do it but to be all in. He has to be, because I can't get him to 50,000 unless he's making $3,000 commissions, right? It's impossible. So I now want to find out how much he's making. So Tom, give me an idea. I mean, what level of income you custom making right now, right? About $5,000 a month, right? Okay, so give me an idea. What sort of budget have you set aside to start a business with? Business costs money, guys. Sorry to tell you, it's not free. Show me any coffee shop that you can get for no money. Doesn't happen, right? So now, how much? What sort of a budget have you set aside to start a business with? And then give me an idea, what's your monthly maintenance budget for your business? See how that works, guys? I got everything right there. So I know what his startup budget is. I know what he can afford per month. And now I want to ask, how serious is he about this? Right? How serious are you going to scale from 1 to 10? Oh, Darren, I'm a 15. Really a 15? Tell me why. Now he's selling me. I'm not selling him on anything. He's selling me on his dream, okay? Now what I'm going to say to him is this. So, you know, do you want to get to the fast way or do you want to get to the slow way? Most people say the fast way, right? They want to get to the fast way. Okay, so let me ask you this. If I was to tell you what to do right now, right, would you just follow exactly my lead and do what I tell you to do and follow the 7-figure formula, or are you going to fight me kicking and screaming every step of the way? Oh no, Darren, I'll definitely do what you say. Okay, here's what you need to do. You need to get the core products. It's just like university, guys. It's no different than the doctor. It's no different than the lawyer. It's no different than the nurse. It's no different than the massage therapist. It's no different than the guy that wants to become a fitness expert. They all get certified. They should actually make the training that people go through mandatory if you want to get into this industry. It's a shame they don't. It should be a certification process you have to actually go through to learn how to become a professional marketer, right? Instead of a pitch person and a spammer. It's terrible. So the problem is that the industry in general has way too low of an entry fee, right? That's the problem with the industry. If you treat it like a professional business, like anything else, right? You get your training, you get your certification, and now you go make the type of money you want. Now the difference here is there's no income ceiling. You can make as much money as you want, right? Now you'll hear me a lot of times, guys, say that. Somebody tells me they want to make 50 grand a month. I'm telling these stories. I'm going to say, you know what, let me tell you a story. My niece right now is a nurse, right? We got a bunch of nurses in our family, right? My sister was a nurse, and her daughter is a nurse, and her son's wife's a nurse, and her other son's future wife's a nurse. We got a whole family of nurses, okay? So my niece has about a $45,000 student loan debt, right? And nurses only make like 60 grand a year in Canada. And she's on an income ceiling. So she's in massive debt load, but her income is not going to get, it's not like she can go to 100,000 or 150,000 being a nurse. They have an income cap, right? But she's got this massive debt load. Now, one of my students, Chad Turner, was a waiter, right? He's making $2,100 a month. He spent $5,200 on his education, and he's at 8 $3,000 weeks already, and he just had a $9,750 week. Now, where do you think he's going to be 3 years from now in comparison? Think about it. So he's debt-free, right? He's cranking out $3,000 days. Now he's having almost a $10,000 week, right? Where's his income going to go in comparison? So think about this stuff, guys. And I use these stories. So if I'm going to bring in somebody and I'm going to, close them for $5,200, right? There's a $3,000 commission sitting there. You can be rest assured that I'm going to get this down. Makes sense, right? Like if you have an opportunity to get on a call for 20 minutes and make 3 grand, chances are you're probably going to practice, right? Yes or no, guys? Is it worth it to practice a couple times if you could pop $3,000 commissions? Absolutely. Absolutely it is, right? Now, you won't do it if you don't do it. In other words, I'm not going to be making $3,000 commissions if I'm scared to do this process. Does that make sense? Now, I can tell you the minimum, if somebody wants to make, a half decent money, the minimum they need is a 6-figure builder. Because you can go out and get people, but if you don't know what to do with your people, like some of the stuff that I've done in the last 3-4 days, of going down underneath Seb into Simon, and then down underneath Simon into Tyler, and then working with their people and making some calls, and then starting a right now. Michelle's going to have her biggest day ever, and Jeff's upgrading, and Seb's getting the top producer, maybe the team builder. Simon's getting upgraded. Tyler's going to his grandparents. There's a massive amount of synergy happening, right? But it won't happen, guys, right? Okay, so here's the difference. Somebody says to me, well, Darren, I really want to get mentored. Okay, well, great. Well, You're going to have the Klaatu Premium blog and the Inner Circle mindset in order to even get on the Millionaire Mentoring calls. Well, I don't have that. Well, go find it. Training starts Saturday at 12 noon, right? Go find it. I'm done. What else is there to say? Because that's my boundary. If you don't have the tools, I can't help you. If you don't have a blog where you can put your content from and you're not tapped into mindset training every single day, I certainly can't help. What can I do? Those are the basic tools, okay? That's without any training even. Okay, so if you don't have an autoresponder, you don't have a blog, you don't have mindset training, I'm out, right? So what's the next thing? So somebody says, well, Darren, I want to become a top producer. Do you have the top producer formula? No. Go find the money. Get it. It makes sense, doesn't it? You want to become a top producer, but you haven't gone through the top producer formula. Okay, well, that makes sense, right? I can tell you this. Chad Oxted sold his car. He sold his any type of clothes that didn't fit him. He sold his DVD player. He sold his game player. He sold his watch, and he took a loan out from any person that would lend him $100 at a time. $100, $100, $100, $100, $100, $100, $100, $100. He went all in. How about that? So when somebody tells me they don't have the money, no, they don't have this, the mindset. That's the problem. Right here. Has nothing to do with the money. Right? When somebody tells me they can't find the money, and then I tell them a story how I started a business with no money and went out and raised $7.1 million, how does that work? How does that work? I signed a contract for a .com that was worth $1.1 million, and I didn't have the money to do the deal. I either did the deal or my name was on this contract. I went out and found the money. I did it like my life depended upon it. That's when you get your breakthrough, guys. When you put enough value on your freedom that no matter what you're going to do this, somehow, some way, you're going to find it. Somehow, some way, it's going to happen. Somehow, some way, you're going to make it happen. That's when the breakthrough happens. That's when the breakthrough happens. Because the universe basically goes, ah, you get it. You get it now, right? This is about you loving yourself. This is about you realizing that the resistance between you and the abundance flow is you. It's just you. So if you can just feel worthy and deserving and love yourself, that's step one. If you can surrender your pride and your ego and not feel bad about somebody saying no, that's why I came up with a cool what do you got planned for the weekend, right? That's my safety net. I've always got my safety net. So if I was to tell you blank, 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 is that something that might interest you? No, not really. Cool, what do you got planned for the weekend? I'm bulletproof now. You can't say anything to me that will affect me. So Tom, what do you like best about the video? Darren, it totally sucks. It looks like a pyramid. Cool, what do you got planned for the weekend? Now I'm bulletproof. I'm like RoboCop. You can never affect me, right? So Tom, what do you like best about the video? Darren, this looks like a total scam. Cool, what do you got planned for the weekend? Right? It's like water bouncing off me like this. You can't have no, right? No effect. So, and then once you get over that part, then you just realize this is just making new friends. So I'm going to reach out, say hello, build a bit of rapport, share my life, vulnerability, get you to an LOL, right? So, Michelle sends me some of her chats today, and I'm like, Michelle, just follow the formula. Don't reinvent the wheel. Just follow the formula, guys, right? If you don't have, something about your personal life and something that's going to make them laugh, and I don't see LOLs on there at the very first part of the conversation, you're not following the formula. Because all the stuff that I'm sharing with you guys, I've used this to raise tens of millions of dollars over the course of my career. This isn't up for trial, guys. I'm not telling you to do something that isn't a bulletproof, 100% turnkey method that access universal abundance. This works. It works. So don't try to, oh, I'm going to tweak it a little bit here. Don't. Why do you want to tweak it when it already recruits new people in 3 minutes? Why do you want to, how faster can you get? How faster can you get than 3 minutes? Right? I mean, seriously, guys. Right? Stick to the basics. You're going to say hello to a person. Right? They're going to say, pretty good, how about yourself? Now I'm going to say stuff like this. Amazingly well. I just got back from Los Angeles. Boy, I sure wish that we had weather like LA in Vancouver. Seems like all we get is rain. LOL. Now I'm sending pictures of my LA trip. Real simple, right? I sent Michelle a couple ones. I got my daughter here. She's always trying to get my attention right when I get on the computer. LOL. Right? They don't have to be anything monumentous. You don't have to say that you went to the Empire State Building or you went to the top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right? But just make it something that's everyday stuff, right? Does that make sense, guys? What I'm saying here, right? It's just everyday stuff. I used to use this a lot if somebody was from Florida. So, I see you're from Florida. Yeah. Oh my God, I love oranges. LOL. I always got an LOL back. Right? I always got it back. It's just something about, that's whimsical, something that's kind of, funny. Little thing to it, right? Just to liven it up. They call it breaking the ice, right? And when you're out and about doing high-level business, you become very good at this, breaking the ice. What's breaking the ice? Getting somebody to go from here to change their state. Change their state. You get really good at changing people's state, and I'll tell you what happens. You will literally be the talk of the party. No joke. No joke, guys. Try this out. If you're the person in the party that has the bubbly energy, right, that goes up to somebody and makes them smile like this, everybody wants to talk to you. You become the attractor factor. Everybody in that whole room is magnetized to you because they want to find out what you do. That all has to do with energy. It all has to do with the polarity of the magnet. So your beacon, right, is set to pull. It's like a vortex, success vortex. That's why I talk about the success vortex all the time. And when you can start teaming up with other people, okay, so guess what happened? Seb and Simon, they started to get this concept, okay? So what did they do? They teamed up. How many times do you guys hear me say team up, team up, team up, right? Team up with other people in the group because it will give you more confidence, right? You won't be the Lone Ranger. You always hear me say that. Stop being the Lone Ranger. Surrender your pride and your ego, right? Go to somebody else on the team. Ask for support. Ask for some help. Get 2 people together. Get 3 people together. Create a little posse, right? Do a little a Google Hangout where everybody gets a chance to speak. Practice your speaking, right? And over time, you get better. It's no different than anything. You remember the first time you rode a bike, guys? Whoa, you probably fell, right? Whoa, like this, trying to balance the bike. Or the first time that you got on roller skates, that was probably pretty funny, right? Looking back on it now, the first time that you tried skiing, right? It was probably, pretty entertaining for people that, saw you for the first time? Yes or no? Would you guys agree with that? This is the same, guys. Now, you will get better by doing these things. Number one, team up with a couple people. 2 people, 3 people, 4 people even. Team up with a little posse. Do stuff to start creating value together. Start practicing each other, sharing the screen. Pass it over to you. Okay, I'm going to pass it over to you, Seb. Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Simon. You know, guys, here's one of the breakthroughs that I learned. Blah, blah, blah. Share screen. Blah, blah, blah. Talk, 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 talk. Boom. Unshare. Okay, over to you, you know, Debbie. See how that works, guys? And all of a sudden you go, holy crap, this is pretty cool. I can do this, right? Going on doing one by yourself, right? Where you're talking to the little green dot. You're making friends with the little green dot there, you know, and you're practicing being able to do an intro video or a bridge video, right? So that over time, it's like osmosis. It was like osmosis. When I first got on the phone in the phone room to raise money, guys, I couldn't do squat. Like I thought, boy, I'm gonna probably be starving. I'm gonna be broke because this is really tough. And a lot of times the executive guys, they had a blocker. There's a blocker here, the secretary. Sometimes there's a secretary to an executive assistant and then the guy. And I was like, holy crap, I'm hooked. Where am I gonna eat? Right? How am I gonna eat? So I had to be able to keep on practicing, and then all of a sudden, pass the secretary. Now I got to get the executive assistant, right? Pass the executive assistant. I'm in. And then I got better, and then I got better, and then I got better, and then I learned how to change the state, and then I learned how to come in with a high frequency, right? So I could come in and be like, Michelle, what's going on? Instant. Change the state. High frequency, and then I learned how to walk into a room. So I just, my energy comes in, stop people in the conversation, turn around. All practice, right? And once you get better, all of a sudden, you become the deal. You are the product. Product is leadership, guys. You become the product. People don't care what they're buying, guys, I'm telling you. As long as it has value, right? As long as it has value, right, to the marketplace. They just want to learn how to make money with it. That's the truth. It has to provide value to the market. Okay, now, do you think the fact that we've done $200 million in sales might mean that we have good value, guys? What do you think? Companies don't do that type of volume in sales if their products aren't valuable. If somebody isn't getting benefit from the top producer or benefit from learning how to build a team and create culture and duplication, if somebody isn't getting benefit from going through mass influence, they wouldn't buy them. They wouldn't keep on buying them and keep on going all in, right? So here I want to go back to this situation with the closing, okay? If you guys don't have a minimum requirement, right? So when somebody gets involved with me as an example, I don't care how far down the rabbit hole they are. They have to have the tools. How can I help you build a business if you don't even have the tools? You've got no blog, you've got no mindset training, and you've got no autoresponder, and you've got no affiliate fee. I can't help, right? Once they're now in, they're on the first step, okay? So that allows me to get them in with the tools. But what am I going to do now? Now they're in, now I'm going to connect them to their dream, okay? And I'm going to tell the stories like I told you guys about the accountant, the lawyer, the doctor, right? And I use words like this. Tom, doesn't it make sense that? Ba, 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 ba. He says, yeah. That's my goal, guys. Anytime you're doing taking somebody on a journey, you need to be the person that's asking the questions. Okay? Now there's guided questions that you can ask. And a lot of times I will say this, Tom, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Tom, let me ask you a question. I mean, if there was a way that you could basically just copycat people that had already made millions and millions of dollars and do exactly the same strategy that they've implemented time after time after time to make millions, it would make sense that if you followed the exact same formula that they did, that you would have success too. Wouldn't it? You see how that works, guys? Do you see how this works? So, you know, what you've got to understand is that there's a couple things that are going to benefit you. You've got to learn how to change people's state. You hear me talk about it all the time in Millionaire Mentoring. It's critical that you learn this. You have to learn how to change people's state in their emotions and their physiology and their body. It's critical. It's called accessing the vault, okay? Now, the other thing is that you've got two worlds when you want to close, okay? You've got where are they now and where do they want to go? What's their reality like now and what do they want it to be like, right? What's that vision of it and how much is it going to cost? I'm going to have them spend all the money and then I'm going to bring them back down to their reality now. Okay, so you tell me you want to make $50,000 a month? Really, $50,000 a month? What do you want the money for? Spend, 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 spend. Right? Cool. Well, what level of income are you accustomed to now? Boom, down to where they are right now. Right? And they say that they're accustomed to making $5,000 a month. Right? So what do I want to do? I want to find out if their spouse makes money. The combined income of the household. Now, why would I do that? Because I can see whether they got the budget or not to go all in. Right? Do they have $5,200? Do they have access to $5,200? Right? Now, if they tell me as an example that they only have a $1,000 startup budget and $300 or $400 a month, or $200 or $300 a month, right? But they're talking about $50,000 that they want to make. I'm going to ask them if they want to get to the fast way or the slow way. And they say, I want to get to the fast way. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. Tom, here's what I'm going to tell you. The first step, I mean, if you're serious here, I mean, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the most serious, how serious would you say that you are about getting that 50 grand? Oh, Darren, I'm a 15. Really, a 15? Tell me why. Okay, now he's going to sell me on his dream, and he's going to get emotionally attached to why he wants that $50,000, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell him the first step, guys, and this is a true story. The first step to you getting to the next level is to surrender your pride, surrender your ego, and use every single resource you have to get the education you need. That is fact. And I'm going to tell him that. I'm going to tell him that because it's the truth. I mean, how does a dentist think he's going to be a dentist and make big money and be drilling teeth if he's not going to go to dental school? Somebody says, you want to make $50,000 a month? You want to make $50,000 a month and bypass the educational process? Give me a break. It ain't happening. And that's called a reality check. So you can surrender your pride and ego, and you can go to the people that love you and care about you in your power, not as a victim. People will not invest in a victim, guys. I'll tell you that for 100% factual truth. People will not invest in a victim. They will invest into somebody who is in their power. Okay, does this make sense? Okay, so in the event that you are serious, right, these strategies are something that anybody can learn. Anybody can learn, right? Would you guys agree? Have I said anything here that you go, oh, I could never do that? I mean, that's like, that's way over my head. Is there anything that I've said here, guys, that you think that you could not do? They're pretty easy, right? It's just understanding the whole sequence of how this actually works, right? And the only way that that can really truly happen for you is just to practice. This world's here, this world's here. Where you are, where do you want to go, right? What exactly is it that you want, right? How much money do you need for that? Spending the money, bring down here, well, what level of income are you accustomed to making right now? This is all very, very simple, right? But you've got to understand how this works. And honestly, if a person is not prepared to get the proper education, do they really deserve to become a millionaire, guys? Honestly, come on. Let's be real. There's no lot. This isn't a lotto, right? This is real business with real products and real training and education. And if the person just gets through that first step, surrender your pride and your ego, go to the people that love and care about you in your power, not as a victim, in your power, and people will back you, guys. The hardest part to do is to get to eliminate the pride. Straight up. Straight up. That's the hardest part. Because the pride holds on, and the pride doesn't want to admit that you can't afford it, or you can't do it, or that you can't come up with the money, right? Because that's the ego feeling that you've done something wrong, right? So what happens is, and then the person's afraid of what the person's going to think or say, right? So the ego and the pride battle like this, and then a lot of times when people just like go to their grandma and say, Grandma, I got an opportunity to work with a millionaire mentor. I need to get this training and education to get certified to get to the next level to become multiple six-figure and seven-figure income earner. I really need your help and support. I've never been more passionate about anything my whole life. I've never been more clear and more driven that I finally found my purpose here on this planet. You know what they say? Absolutely. I'd love to help you. And you leave with a check. True story, guys. It's a true story. But most people won't do it. Why? Because they're programmed in their mind to have to suffer. It's crazy. And that's the human condition. That's the human condition, guys. And we all battle it. Make sense? So let me ask you this. You guys feel a lot more confident, knowing that this is really super easy to close people and upsell them. But if you don't have iron in the sand, like a concrete line in the sand, if you're trying to get somebody into your company and you're like, well, you know, it's just a $7 trial and, you know, it's not a lot of money and, you know, don't even go there, okay? Seriously, you're just setting yourself up for total failure, right? Because it's not $7. They need $216.95 to even have the tools. So don't kid people. You're just setting yourself up for failure. Business costs money. $216.95 are the tools. You want to get trained to become a top producer, and I tell people this. It's $500 for a one-time training to become a top producer. You want to learn how to do something with those people, create a team, create a culture, create duplication. It's a $1,000 one-time payment. Get comfortable talking about these numbers. You want to take your life to the next level? You want to become a seven-figure income earner? Mass Influence Formula will take you there. It's a $3,500 one-time product purchase, and that's when you're going to start developing your own products. There it is. Right now, the faster that you can get comfortable talking about what it really does cost to be in business, to become a seven-figure income earner, the faster you'll become one. But if you're scared to talk about these dollar amounts because of your own internal issue, you will be doing this with the money the whole time. You'll be pushing the money away from you, and you'll wonder why it's not working. Oh, it's not working. Right? Well, how many people did you say to them that these are the three levels of the products? You want to become a top producer? $500 product. You want to build a team? It's a $1,000 product. You want to have mass influence? You want to create your own products? $3,500 product. You want to go all in like I did and I followed the seven-figure formula? It's $5,200. Is what it costs. You want to start having $3,000 days, or would you be just as happy having $25 to $50 days? Oh no, Darren, I want to have $3,000 days. Okay, so let me ask you this. Are you going to do exactly what I tell you to do, or are you going to fight me kicking and screaming every step of the way? Oh no, Darren, I'm going to do exactly what you tell me to do. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Commanding instructions. Go here, log in, go to the back office, click the button that says all in, phone your bank ahead of time, through, and call me when you're done. Pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. Now, why don't people do that? I'll tell you why. Because they're doing this to success. They're doing this to the money. And they wonder why they can't make money. Because they're pushing the money away. They have people that are live prospects. And if your new person does not understand what they need to do to make big money, how the heck are they even going to buy? They won't. So if I call somebody underneath Seb or underneath Simon or underneath Debbie, and I'm having a conversation with them, and they're hearing this like they're hearing this for the very first time, they don't even know about our products. They don't even know what the Uniline is. They have no comprehension of anything. What? How's that possible? And then you guys go, well, Darren, how is it that you can, pop these people off? 500, 500,000, boom, all in, 500,000. Because we have a conversation. I find out where they are and where do they want to go. What are their income goals? I can't help a person if I don't know where they're at in life. How can I help them? We don't even have a baseline to work with. So if I say, well, give me an idea. I mean, what level of income that are you currently accustomed to making right now? I'm very comfortable asking that question, and they always tell me. They always tell me, 5,000 a month, 72 grand a year, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. And how about your wife? What's the combined household income of the family? They always tell me. Why? Because I got no resistance. Here, zero, no resistance. And if you want me as your mentor to help you, how can I help you if I don't know where you are and where you want to go? There's nothing I can do. It's like, okay, I'm out. I can't help. If you can't share with me where a starting point is and what your goal and what your intention is, how the heck can I help you get it? Right? Come back when you're serious. I'm out. That's what I do. Right? So what you got to understand here, guys, is that you are the CEO of your business. You are a CEO. You are conducting interviews of whether or not you want to bring this person in as a business partner. That's why I'm in control the entire time. Darren, tell me about your business. Well, what has you looking for more income right now? Well, I heard about, tell me about this Uniline compensation plan. Is the compensation plan the most important thing for you? To see how this works? So tell me this, Tom. Before we get into that, we'll be able to answer all your questions later. Tell me a little bit more about yourself. What's going on in your life right now, and what has you looking for more income right now? Anyway, I got control. I'm controlling the whole thing because it's my business. I'm the CEO, and I don't even know if you're qualified. I don't even know if I want you in my business. Does that make sense, guys? Can you see the difference? Big difference, right? So now when you're reaching out to people, you're reaching out to people to just make a friend, make a connection, make an acquaintance, share a little bit about your personal life. Be that fun person, be that happy person at the party, be the person that's got cool things happening. Cool thing here, cool thing there, cool thing here. I went to this thing, I went to that thing. Oh, this is a great event. I went to this red carpet thing. It was awesome. Cool factor, right? Then, right? LOL. You got LOLs happening. You change their state. Whew, I'm in the vault now. Now I want to know, what do you currently do, how long you've been doing it, and whether or not it's your passion or not. Pretty simple. You're either living your passion or you're not living your passion. If you're not living your passion, what's your passion? My passion's this, right? Well, why aren't you doing that full time? Can't afford it. How much money do you need to be able to walk away from there and pursue your passion full time? I get a number, boom. It's real simple, super simple. So any questions right now so far before we wrap her? Any questions, guys? Jeez, was that informative?
No. I have plenty to say. But the one thing that I got from this is that I was not qualifying people. I was just going from the script. I got to cut right to the chase in terms of how much money they're making so they can afford an all-in. I mean, that's really what I got from this tonight. Like, I'm on a conversation right now, and the woman says straight out, I'm very interested in making money. And I answered her with, how much money are you accustomed to making, Kathleen? How much do you have coming in monthly? I was not doing that before. That's just happened here on the Hangout, and I'm waiting to get back to her. I wasn't doing that before, Darren. I was just kind of like putzing around while they're telling me that they're making like $400 every 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, here's what I'm going to share with you guys as well. You want to start to raise your standards.
Right.
Okay? I don't care where anybody is on the path, right? Doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that you have a dream. That's what matters to me. And that you show up. That's all I care about. You got a dream, you show up, I will help you. Bottom line. I don't care what kind of money you have. That makes no difference to me. Because I can tell you this, people that hit rock bottom a lot of times will shoot up to the top way faster than the guy that's got a cushy job. Because the guy that's got a cushy job has no sense of urgency, and he has not reached his breaking point. And what propels somebody up like that is when they reach their breaking point. So it's not about whether or not you have a lot of money. It's whether or not you're a victim. That's what matters. You're a victim, you're gone. I'm out. Because I'm not going down the victim rabbit hole, right? So if you're one of these, oh, okay, you're out. Let me just get the door for you on the way out there. It'll spank you in the ass. See ya. So, but I can tell you that if somebody is prepared to do the work, right, I never shut the door, right? Like if I say, as an example, you know, Simon, read this book. Simon, go here. Seb, you do this, right? And they actually do, and it doesn't matter where they are, right? Doesn't matter where they are, guys. Okay? And I can tell you many, many stories of people that were my students that didn't want to hear what I had to say and left. And a year later, they came back and said, geez, Darren, you know what? I owe you an apology. I just want to say I'm sorry. I didn't mean, you know, my ego got in the way. You know, I saw this stuff happening, all these other people having success, and I was all upset. It pissed me off, and I just retracted. Okay. You can come back anytime. Anytime you want. We're still here. The team's still here. We're still having some great successes. You want to take a little sabbatical? Hallelujah. But you can come back anytime you want, right? And that's the important thing that you got to understand is that you guys are going to go through an evolution here. If you just keep on showing up, God, I will 100% guarantee you this will happen for you in your life. You're going to go through this transformational evolution, and you're going to actually be me, except it's going to be you, and you're going to be sharing all of these concepts and ideas and taking a panel of people through this process yourself. Serious. Now,
Holy
it might.
cow, are you serious, Darren?
What's that?
Holy cow, are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Oh my God, I would love it. I would love it. I had thought of that moment since like the day I watched you.
Well, that's what's going to happen. You just keep on showing up.
Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry to interrupt. That would be a dream come true.
That's what happens. That's what happens. So, you know, the problem that people typically run into, guys, just so you understand this, is they go like this. They're either, this thing starts to scare them, right? So they retract, right? Or they get through this, then they go into the next level in the game. Okay, now what happens in the next level in the game is that you're walking this tightrope, okay, between these two different realities. On one side, you've got the ego, and on the other side, you've got being a humble servant leader. And you're walking a tightrope, literally, between two worlds, okay? And you will get tested, guys. Trust me. Now, you might say, oh, that'll never happen to me. I'd never be like that. I'd never do that, right? Trust me, you will get tested. And if you fall over onto the ego side and you become the ego, the whole reality completely implodes. You get sent back to level 1, and you got to start all over again in the game. And that sucks, okay? So typically what happens is once somebody thinks, oh, I already know that. I already know that. As soon as they start saying that, they're screwed. As soon as they start saying, I already know that, if you knew that, you would already be financially free. Obviously you don't. How about just keep on showing up, right? Because if you did, then you would already be pulling $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a day and be in a rocket launcher. If that's not the case, keep showing up, guys. Right? Keep showing up, because what you'll find is that somebody else's breakthrough on this panel, you will get energy transference from their personal breakthrough, and it's not this, it's that that takes you to your breakthrough. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? So it could be something that, you know, we're talking about something and then we go into an open forum, and Shirley shares something about a breakthrough that she just had in, say, the last week. And something that she talks about triggers Helen's emotions to something that happened to her when she was 16 years old. And simultaneously, over to Debbie, and Debbie has the same revelation, and she has some healing that happens with her and her father. Holy crap. That's what happens, guys. Because that's what happens. Okay, so what I want to be able to do is to get a collective, okay? To get a collective. What's a collective? A collective is a group of people that always show up. That's where it starts, right? So if the people on the panel are, you know, they're here, they're there. Or sometimes, oh, maybe I can make it. I don't know. Oh, we're going to the movies. I'll watch the replay. It's difficult to have that happen, right? So it's taken here just this last couple of weeks to put together a collective. That's where it starts. Okay, you have to put together the collective unit to go have the breakthroughs all the way across the panel. It makes sense, guys, right? No, but I haven't ever explained that before. That's how it works from quantum physics, right? We are all connected like the ocean. Okay, so every one of these people on these boxes is like a little cup, right? A little cup, 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 right? And if we took those cups and we went, right, they all become part of the ocean again. They all become part of the collective. So the step one to do this is to first put together the collective, right? Now, what happens once the collective is put together, there's energy transference that goes all the way across like this, right? Now, once that happens, then we can go into an open forum, right? So if I know that everybody that's here on the panel is going to show up next week, 100%, then we can start some of these other, you know, breakthroughs. Make sense, guys? Make sense? Okay. So any closing comments, remarks, anything anybody want to say?
I was just going to basically echo what Ray was saying about not properly qualifying people. I was kind of doing the same kind of thing. Just kind of, I felt like I was rushing into it without really really understanding like what their investment can be and what we're doing, and also properly helping them to realize how to reach their goals. So I think for me, it's going to spend a bit more time. So I don't mind talking to less people if it means they're better quality, in the sense that just kind of going deeper than wider, in the sense that when I'm networking, being a little bit more intentional in terms of if they are interested, then like how serious are they, and how much of investment can they make. So that's some of the changes that I'm going to be making as a result of this training. So it's been really helpful in that respect, definitely.
Okay. Now here's the other thing that I'm going to share with you guys that I didn't talk about, is that when I am doing this, okay, if I'm going for an all-in sale, I'm not doing that on Facebook chat. I am not doing that on Facebook chat, okay? I'm typically going to get you in to my deal, okay, at $216.95 or $184.95, whichever program that you're in. Once you're in and you have the basic tools that you need, now I'm getting you on the phone or on Skype. Okay, I've never been from zero prospect into an all-in, ever. Okay, and I've done probably almost 40 all-in sales. Okay, it goes from zero in to put your toes in the water, right? And now I'm going to, after you've already bought from me. Makes sense, right? To go from zero to $5,200, no, right? You want to go from zero to an easy entry and then get a relationship going. Makes sense, right? And then from the relationship, now I can talk about why you need top producer. Now I can talk about why you need team builder. Now I can talk about why you need mass influence. And now I can share my story about why I went all in. And if you really want the formula on how I went from zero to 25,000 my third month, that would be the way to go, right? That makes sense, doesn't it? So that if you want to get to 25 grand, it only means like 8 sales versus like 5,000, blah, 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 whatever the 25,000 divided by 1750, the never, never plan, right? So I'm talking about this from real life, guys, okay? So cold prospect, I'm going to put your toe in the water. I'm going to bring you in. I'm going to introduce you to the team. I'm going to connect you to the dream. Now I'm building a relationship. Okay, I'm offering value. I'm doing mentoring. I'm bringing the people together, right? And then you'll see me reach out to people on the phone, right, or on Skype or on FaceTime, right, and get an opportunity to find out more about their life. Makes sense, right? Right, and as you get to know somebody, they feel more comfortable. They can trust you more, right? And they're more willing to put in money and really treat this like a serious business, right? When the more value that you provide to people on your wall, right? Like Seb's been putting out some really good content, by the way, guys. And a lot of times what happens, people come to these millionaire mentoring sessions, they start being able to channel. Okay, so what's happening is they get access to the universal superconscious. Every thought that's ever been thought is floating out here in the ether, okay? And once you tap into this more, your content's going to go like this. The amount of engagement that you start to have on your content is going to go vertical. Why? Because it's personal development, and that's our market, guys. That's our market. Personal development leadership, that's our market. The more you tune into that, the more that you talk about that, the more, who are you going to attract when you're talking about leadership? Leaders. Who are you going to attract when you're talking about personal breakthrough and mindset and motivation and tapping in your personal power and confidence and self-esteem and breaking through to the next level? All the people that are on that path. That's called target marketing. Makes sense, right? Michelle, what's happened to your interaction once you start talking more about personal development?
It has gotten way, way bigger and better. Just the quality of people, you know, I've been getting more leaders and a lot more likes and comments. It's just gotten way better. So.
Okay. Now, the thing that I want to say to you guys in closing is that the only thing that is stopping you from your upgrading process is that you're not even talking about it. How about that? Right? Now, if somebody doesn't realize why they need a specific product because there's no communication about it, or you're not emotionally connected to it because you're actually afraid if they do buy it that you're not even going to make the commission because you don't even have it yourself. That's the other problem. So, well, I don't want to tell them about the top producer formula because I don't have the top producer formula. And if they ask me if I got the top producer formula, I'm going to feel kind of stupid because I don't have it, but I'm telling them to buy it. That's the other this that happens. Okay, so here's what I'm going to share with you guys. When Seb gets the top producer formula tonight or tomorrow morning, okay, I am going to be able to help Seb open up a whole different reality for himself. Now, why is that? Because he actually owns the product. So I know that now my efforts are going to help push him up to bronze. Makes sense, right? I opened up a gateway there just by helping to raise his mindset to realize he's now already thinking that he needs to be all in if he wants to make 7 figures. Right? He's already thinking that. So if he starts thinking it and speaking about it and just accepting it as truth, guess what happens? The money shows up. It's a universal principle. Speak about what you want, think about what you want, feel emotionally connected to what you want. Gateway. Gateway opens. So the moment that he opens up that gateway, right, he's now going to be vibrating at a different level. Now, when that happens, I can tell you this. If he's working with Simon, Simon's vibration is going to come up to Seb's level, right? Because Seb's coming up to my level. You see how this works, guys? So I get on the phone with Seb or on Skype, and I open up the gateway for him where he goes, holy crap, this is, my dream is really going to happen, right? And he goes, he's boss maker, right? Now I already see him past the bronze level because I can already go underneath him, right, and help to lift that up, right? So now Seb starts to have a massive income story. So now it's a situation, like, guys, you won't see me shy to put up people's success stories. Trust me. They'll be all over my wall, broadcast to 11,600 people, right? And as they start going up, guess what I do next? I email your story to my list. Right? There's another 18,000 exposures per time, right? So, but what's going to happen as this happens, okay, he's now going to, just by the nature of how this works, Simon's going to come up too. Because when the tide comes in, all the boats rise. right? All the boats rise, okay? Now, if everybody follows the formula that I teach instead of going Lone Ranger, all the people across this panel will now promote Seb just went bronze, you know, Simon just went boss maker, right? Because here's what I'm going to share with you guys. Nobody knows that you're not the leader that made those things happen. Nobody knows. So now all of a sudden it looks like you're a superstar. Does that make sense, guys? Right?
It's a light bulb.
So now, but everybody goes, holy crap, this thing's really happening. He's got this boss maker, he's got this person. What are you guys doing? Everybody wants to know. Now everybody wants a piece of it, right? So the more you talk about personal development, the more that your videos are motivational, inspirational, or breakthrough. Have you ever had this problem? I got the solution. Have you ever had this problem? I got the solution. Have you ever had this problem? I got the solution. Leader, leader, boss maker, boss maker, boss, 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 gold, gold, bronze, 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 bronze. Now your phone starts ringing. What are you guys doing? What's going on over there? Can you show him? Can you show me how to do it? How are you making money online? How did you have a $1,000 day? Oh my God, I went in. That's what happens, guys. And it's all through this synergy of the team. All of it. And once you can surrender to the team and trust me, guys. Trust me here. I know what I'm doing here. Okay? And I can tell you that when Michelle starts popping, and Seb, and then, you know, Simon underneath him, and then, you know, Tyler underneath him, and then boom, and then I go under, you know, Shirley, and Shirley puts a little group of people together, and we lasso those together, and pop, 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 pop. They start going off like popcorn, guys. But it only happens when you surrender to the team. Okay, I can tell you this group of people right here that are on here that make this commitment, I will guarantee you that you will literally surpass all the rest of the people that used to come to Millionaire Mentoring. Why? Because they stopped coming. They're not here. Right? And you can see what happened in 2 weeks. Because I did that to show people. You realize that? I even put a post. This is what my Millionaire mentor taught me. He said, Darren, if you want to put an injection of energy into your business, you need to go into a 90-day run of mass recruiting. 90 days. Okay? So this last month, personally me, I personally sponsored 30 people. Just me, guys. Not my team, my own personal efforts. 30. Okay? I even did 5 in 1 day because I wanted to prove a point. You can go boss maker in 1 day, or boss in 1 day, rather. Okay? 1 day of massive energy. 1 day of massive focus. 1 day of speaking your reality into existence. 1 day. It's only 7 trials, guys. We're not talking about a second mortgage on a home. That's $35, right? So start raising those standards that you have and realize there's tons of people that want opportunity. If you have a blocker with money, that's all you will get. So if you clear this, guess what happens? The money starts flowing in. As long as you don't have a problem. I mean, when I think of the 5,200, I'm already thinking 10 grand, just so you know. So somebody says, Darren, how do you recruit so many people at 5,200? Because I'm above it. I'm already at 10,000 looking down at the 5,200, right? Because how are they going to get to the next event, right? And how are they going to do some money for traffic? So I'm already thinking about $10,000 budget for somebody that wants to be successful, versus somebody that's trying to get somebody in at a trial looking up at Mount Everest to the all-in. Oh my God, $5,200. Oh my God, nobody will be able to ever afford that, right? So what do they end up attracting? That's what they're attracting, right? Does that make sense, guys? Pretty basic, right? Be the eagle, flying down. Realize there's tons of business professionals out there that have money, but they don't have freedom. Those are the people that you want to be recruiting, right? People that can just throw $5,200 on their gold Visa or their MasterCard or their, you know, titanium. Gold, gold, platinum, and titanium. So that's in my that's written down just so you guys know. Okay, on my perfect business partner, you have a gold, platinum, or titanium credit card.
So you go after people with more money than time in their life, and then you flip it for them and help them have both, instead of like just working a job dead end just to make a lot of money to never spend.
Absolutely, you got absolutely correct there. Absolutely correct. So if you start thinking like an all-in person, what do you think you attract? Now don't think, guys, don't think that because somebody said to you, right, that they don't have the money, that they actually don't have the money. Because they're lying. They're lying. Sorry. I've had people that have told me that they can't afford rent and they don't even know where they're going to get their next food, okay? And in 48 hours came up with $10,000. True story, guys. True story. I got them on a webinar, I painted the picture, opened up a vision, I got them connected to their dream, and when they realized that their life was going to completely change, somehow, some way, they found $10,000. So don't think that when somebody tells you that they don't have the money that they don't, because it's bullshit. It means that you have not connected to them to their dream, and you got blockers. Here, you got the blockers. So they're just a reflector. So you're blocked, so they're doing the victim story and you're buying into the victim story. But what happens when I don't buy into the victim story? Because I've got stories where I started from nothing and raised $7.1 million from zero, right? So somebody can't give me their victim story because I've already been at the bottom of the bottom. So what next? What's the next excuse? You see how that works, guys? So when you change your vision of the universe, when you change the way that you look at things, the way that you look at things start to change, right? When the world itself is not going to change until you change. When you come clear, when you're clear, where you've got no resistance, where you're not doing this from the money, when you're not afraid to tell people it's 500, 1,000, 3,500, and if you want to become a millionaire, you need to go all in. I did. You want to do the 7-figure formula? You want to get the fast way or the slow way? Oh, yeah. Okay. I want to get the fast way? Okay, great. Here's what you need to do. Log into your back office, go to the products, get all the core products, call me back when you're done. It's pretty simple. You see the difference, guys? It's the assertiveness in your attitude that it's going to decide, make or break whether or not you're going to make millions or not. Or are you tiptoeing around? You know, they go, well, how much does it cost to get started? $216.95. Can you afford that? Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap up for tonight. I could keep on talking, but everybody's got stuff to do. So let's get back into work. Let's kick butt, take names. In the next bit here, okay, like the next 7 days, my goal is this, okay? My goal is this. Every single person across this panel, right, should be able to become boss. That's only 5 trials, guys. 5. Now, in the event that you make the conversation all about the other person on what's their vision, what's their dream, what's their passion, what's their pain, what's their problem, not about your company, and you make it a goal to make a new friend, to make them laugh, to change their state, to be vulnerable, open up, talk about your life, share some pictures, and find out whether or not they're living their passion or not. It's really that simple. And if you just do that, you will make money. But if you don't talk to a single soul on chat, and you don't have a budget to run traffic, and you don't have anything for a campaign and you're not doing any other marketing strategies like Pinterest or Instagram or Twitter or anything, then don't expect to make any money. This is a relationship business model. Relationships. And you can't have relationships if you don't talk to people. Right? Right, guys? Agreed? I mean, imagine being in a marriage or something and you never ever talk to your spouse. Like, how long is that going to last? Right? I mean, imagine you got like a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or you're, you know, imagine Shirley. She's going out with some guy and the guy never says a word to her. Like, how's that going to work? It's not. Right? It won't work. Right? So keep that in mind, that if you want to build relationships, you need to connect with people. That's step one. Right? Once you connect with people, you need to bring them together like this and provide value to them. That'll fast track them to the top. Okay, now the cool thing is this. In, what are we at, 2 weeks, Simon and Seb have already followed every single thing that I've told them to do, including creating a success vortex, including providing value to the marketplace, including doing PowerPoint presentations. And is it any, you know, like fluke that Seb right now is boss maker and Simon is boss? No, because they're following the formula, right? It makes sense, right? You get the instructions, you follow the formula, you get the results. Right there is living proof that everything that I'm telling you guys to do works. Michelle just kept on showing up. She went through the Millionaire Mentoring. Oh, out of tens of thousands of affiliates, do you mean to tell me that Michelle, who used to be a brand new newbie, ranked number 9? Maybe it does work after all. How about that? Okay. So guys, you got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes. Thanks a lot for joining us on this Millionaire Mentoring. If you're seeing this video right now, here's what I'll share with you. Click the link below, guys. Change your life. If you plug into Millionaire Mentoring every single week and you just implement these action steps, you literally will never ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life. Now, I will put out a disclaimer. I don't even know if you'll show up, right? All I can do is offer this for people. Whether or not you show up, whether or not you take action, whether or not you can't get out of your own way, I don't know, okay? But the team will still be here, and we'll still have success stories the next time you come. So you've got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes. I look forward to meeting you in person one day, and I look forward to seeing you at the top. Bye for now.